morning, afternoon, or night to whoever is watching this and whenever you get to it. My name's Josephine. I'm going to be doing some makeup looks at home for cosmetology school to practice for Skills USA because I've decided, frankly, there's just not enough time in the day to do it, only when I'm on the lab floor. So, I just got some brand new face paints in. I'm very excited to try them. My only problem is I don't have a ton of disposable sponges. So, I have a bowl of soapy water and way more brushes than I would have ever used in any other situation, just to keep sanitation intact. Today's look is going to be inspired by like those light up purge masks, except we're not going to use any lights. I definitely like challenging myself. This is going to be fun. Well then, I guess let's get started. Hey, this is voiceover Josephine. You'll hear me on any of the sped up parts where I'm applying the makeup because, frankly, it just takes a long time and I want to listen to my show. Anyway, I'm starting out with a basic primer and there's really not much to say for this part, so... Alright, primer on. Foundation. Okay, so this foundation kind of frustrates me a little bit, but you'll hear more about it later. The part I want to point out is the fact that I use two different brushes here because I decide I don't like the texture of the one that is wet with product. And it just creates so much more cleaning afterwards, and then I'm going to sit there and complain about how much cleaning I have to do. And like, ma'am, this is partially your fault. Not partially, fully. Alright, foundation. Again, we clean our brushes. It's going to be a very long makeup look. Alright, all the other speed ups were at ×5. This is now up to ×10 speed. I spent so long cleaning these brushes. It is insane. I think this was like 7 minutes of cleaning. And I know that I had to refresh the bowl of water twice. It was not great. The other thing I want to point out is the texture of this concealer it's a stick. So when I put it on the palette, it doesn't spread and it's hard to actually get to put on my face. And back to more cleaning. I'm cleaning all the brushes I used for my base just to get it out of the way. Okay. Foundation is done. It's actually not my shade and it's kind of off. I shouldn't say that. But, like, this is a brand new bottle I bought for school, man. So, it's okay. Because I get to move on to the fun part now. And I am going to do, like, the X's, and then I'm trying to do a smile. I'm trying to keep it simple, because it is currently 8 o'clock at night. So... yeah. Oh, how am I gonna do this? I'm gonna do this with a sponge, that's right. I just need to clean the sponge in between every single color. That's fine, I'll be fine. So, it's right about now that I realize I am envisioning this weirdly in my head and I can't translate it to my face. So, I proceed to spend way too long trying to find inspo pics that I should have had from the get-go. Okay. That took me 2 minutes to figure out. Okay. I'm a little bit of an idiot, but I'll get it figured out eventually. So this section right here is the perfect example of trial and error and just making it work with whatever you've got. I didn't have a water spray bottle. I realized shortly, like almost immediately actually, that sponges don't hold a whole lot of pigment. So what do I think to do? I think to go in with the brush and scoop the pigment off the sponge, which works a little bit better, but not by much. I also learned here that I don't have an eye for symmetry or angles, but you know what? It's fine. Makeup's supposed to be fun, right? Okay. X's on my eyes are done. I'm now 26 minutes into this look. Turns out putting face paint on a sponge and then dabbing it off the sponge doesn't work super well. So this is not nearly as pigmented as I wanted, but think we're there. They're uneven, but that can be fixed later. This is my first run through. So I'm going to do the mouth. I'm going to see how I like it. I was originally envisioning this with black for some reason, so I'm going to see how I can incorporate that. We're just going to have to see. I'm going with the flow at this point. So, all right, let's get started. So this section actually kind of went off without a hitch. I was very impressed with myself that I didn't have to go back and fix hardly any mistakes, and it was just so easy. Okay. Something is missing. Like, I know there are quite a few things missing, but I want to push my values darker, deeper. I want more to it. And I'm not sure quite what to add. But either way, I'm going to have to clean these. So I guess I will figure it out while I think about it. All right, buckle up, because this section is really long. I kept forgetting to update the camera on what I was doing, and I just went ahead and did it. Anyway, what I ended up deciding to do was drawing around all the lime green with a darker shade of green that was on that palette. And I was hoping that once I went through with a sponge and blended it all out, it's going to be this really nice, really soft gradient that I could put my white line through. But as you'll see, whenever I actually went in with the sponge, it just made a massive, muddy mess of everything I had just spent 30 minutes working on. So, I may have messed it up just a little bit. That's fine. I'm only 45 minutes into this and very deep in a mess that you can't see. Let's start completely over. It's fine. I'm fine. This is okay. All right. I think what I'm going to do the next time, I'll go in. I think I'm going to go in with a powder next time, because as I was applying the face paint, I noticed that while the water activated the paint, it also removed it from my skin. So I'm thinking I'm going to go in with that same lime green, and then I'll grab a powder, a darker powder, or maybe I'll do it the other way around. Do the powder first, then because then the two colors will mix and it'll muddy it. I don't know. I'll figure out the order later. Right now I've got to start over though. It's fine. This was just painful. I don't need to say a whole lot here. Just painful. So here I also do my whole process without really stopping to explain to the camera what I'm doing, because we've already gone over my whole process for putting together a base and a foundation, all of that fun stuff, and I just wanted it over with. I wanted to move on. I wanted to try again and pretend like I hadn't had to completely restart. Okay, my base is redone. I'm not gonna do contour, or no, I'm not gonna do the highlights or powder because I'm not going out like this. It's gonna get showered off as soon as it's done. That and just also a sake of time. I just hit the 1 hour mark according to my recorder. So, this is where we're at. I have decided to go ahead and do the powder first, and then I'll see what I can do with the face paint. I'm a little scared, but I think if I just use less water or maybe spray the brush instead of spraying the paint thing, it'll work out a lot better. I've got a little bit more faith in this. I'm like, I really need this to work. I want to go to bed. I want to shower and go to bed. All right, let's get going again. this part is fairly short and it also went off without much of a hitch. I just mostly struggled going over my eyelids, you know. I found no matter what I did, they just kind of kept moving. But other than that, this was the break I needed. This was the easy step. Okay, darker underpainting is done. We're gonna clean brushes one more time. I think I'm gonna take a foam thing to start with, one of these eyeshadow applicators, and I'm gonna wet it instead of the paint, and then I'm just gonna dab it on. I don't think I'm gonna swipe because I don't want to risk muddying the neon. The only reason I did it this way instead of doing the color I don't want mixing and then the dark is because of what happened last time, where everything got like really wide and just kind of messy, and then whenever I actually went in to blend it, it did not work. So this is as big as I want anything to get. It shouldn't get bigger than this. So here's to hoping. Here is to hoping. Yet another cleaning segment. What? No, I told you there would be a lot of these. But I'm just giving my brushes a full, complete reset so I wouldn't have to worry about it later. There's really not a lot to talk about during these, so I guess we can kind of just chill here together for a little bit. Just a quick FYI, that took 5 minutes of just cleaning brushes. I've spent 5 minutes since my last check-in doing this. Okay. Okay. I gotta kind of laugh at myself here because there was absolutely no transition into me starting. I just kind of did. Okay, this is really not efficient, especially since I can't dip into the pan. I don't know what to do other than my finger right now. Because I don't like the dark on its own. I don't like it. I don't think it fits the vibe. I don't think it works for what I'm going for. I need a neon color, but I'm too pale for the neon to stand out. Okay. I will figure this out. Can I maybe... Hear me out. Makeup wipe, back of a brush. Shoot, this might ruin my pan though. Okay. Back of my hand. Wipe. Pick it up again. No. Maybe? Wait. Yes, I can work with that. Okay. So now that I know what I'm doing and I actually have a plan that is working and I'm liking how it's turning out, there's a visible change in my demeanor. And while you're only 14 and a half minutes in, I think at this point I was 2 hours in. 2 hours. I would have just given up if one more thing went wrong. But no, everything started going in my favor and I was so excited to finish this. Okay. It's not wonderful. It's not the best thing you've ever seen and it is nowhere near professional. But it is the best I have done. Yes, this may be my first attempt, but it is better than I expected and I will take it. Okay? Okay. I know that probably no one was going to argue with me on that one, but I'm allowed to hype myself up. It is now 9 o'clock at night. I can hype myself up. Okay, surprisingly, this water I've been cleaning my brushes in, I had to clean it out a couple of times in the very beginning. It is not all that dirty right now. It's not terrible. You know why? These don't come off with water. The only way I've been able to clean my brushes that have been dipped in the paints is with that makeup remover wipe. But now we get into the fun part. This has all been fun. But another thing I just bought are these liners. I was a little worried about them because they're technically pens. Like, you know, you could kind you unscrew. What I have decided to do is, spoiler alert, it doesn't work like so many other things in this project. So it doesn't really matter how I plan on going about keeping it clean. Okay, before we do anything else, I'm going to setting spray it. I'm going to make sure this biatch ain't moving. There's still transfer, but it's okay. It's all right. Okay, I think I'm going to do a similar thing to what I just did, where I used the back of this, but I'm going to put it on a plate and kind of water it down and see if I can get it down to like almost a paint. That's my goal. Okay, I'm fighting the urge to go in and smooth it because I know that if I smooth it, it's just going to blend, and that's not what you want. You want like a harsh, bright white line. But they're so uneven. They're so uneven. Okay, I'm just gonna fill in some gaps. I'm just going to fill in some gaps. There's nothing too much. Oh my god, I hate my eyelids so much. They make life so hard. So difficult for no reason. Okay, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Okay. Stop it. Just one more on this side because I gotta make it even. Okay, I was initially gonna do like this stitch pattern in white as well. I think it would be sick if I did it in black though. Like heavy black wings and black stitches and a black lip. This is gonna be sick. I love saving the black until the very end, no matter the look, because it always just makes it punch that much harder. Unfortunately, that means that if I make a mistake, though, I have to redo everything that's underneath that black. So this is gonna be very planned out, but we're gonna do it. Okay, so I'm starting simple. I'm just mapping out some dots, being very sure that everything is symmetrical and even, and I'm going in with these stitches, making them as straight as one possibly can. Just got a notification that my iPhone storage is very low, so I'm gonna have to make this quick. I need to edit and post this real quick so that I can get the video deleted and make room for me to finish this. So I'm sorry, I didn't think I was gonna be a part 2 person, but come back for part 2.